Well, good morning, everybody, and good morning, PCIA. It's good to have you all here. Welcome to the 2014 Wireless Infrastructure Show, the best show for this industry anywhere in the world. We are really fortunate to be leading an industry like this, one that is doing so well. It feels like good timing. Our industry's main product isn't just towers or DAS or antennas. It's really about wireless broadband, wireless data. And our industry's main product, wireless data, then, is projected to grow, according to Cisco, by 660% in the next 5 years. Who wouldn't want to be in a business that's going to have its main product selling 660% more in the next 5 years, going that fast? So we're in the right place at the right time, and it feels that way. We're all well positioned to meet that skyrocketing demand with well-engineered solutions. We're building the cutting-edge technology that is bringing world-class healthcare to every corner of this country, education to every corner of this country. And right here, you can see all of the equipment that's going to deliver it. We have a record number of exhibitors and sponsors this year. Incredible enthusiasm for the show. We thank you all for coming. Huge numbers of participants. So everybody in the business is here that you need to meet with. And we have with us the giants of our business, and we're going to hear from some of them shortly. People that are putting American workers back on the job, changing the way that people live their lives, and of course, all while seeing revenue growth that is the toast of Wall Street. And it's no surprise that Wall Street has sent plenty of people here this year to see what we're up to. And since we're in Orlando, I can say this: our show is pure wireless magic. The Wireless Infrastructure Show is really, to me, kind of like a celebration. It's a celebration of all the great ideas and technology, every second of the day that's transforming our world and generating incredible ROI, most importantly. And it seems like yesterday that we gathered back in further south in Hollywood and talked about our industry's growth. Come to think of it, that was just 6 months ago. I'm glad you all got the memo about the show moving here. We've got an even bigger turnout just 6 months later, and we're building even more enthusiasm for our show. And though it's been such a short time between the shows, PCI and our members have made some incredible progress. It would take hours to enumerate all the things that we did, and you're going to be hearing about them throughout the show. But let me just spotlight 4. First, incredible growth and investment that we've seen. Thanks to our members, this industry is booming like few other industries. Annual investments in U.S. wireless networks over the last few years has grown more than 40% between 2009 and 2012, and it continues to climb. Over the next few years, we conducted a study that found that wireless infrastructure alone is going to spark 1.3 trillion, it's trillion with a T, in economic growth in this country. And that's through spending $35 billion a year in capital expenditures. So we're sparking growth not just in our industry, but in virtually every industry that we touch. And we're creating jobs. Experts say our industry will help spur, according to this study, 1.2 million jobs over the next few years. Over 30,000 of them are directly attributable to our industry, but it's creating jobs in virtually every sector of the economy. And these aren't just any jobs, these are high-wage, high-skilled jobs that are career-changing positions. And we're helping give workers the skills that we need. More on that in just a minute on what PCI's role is. But what's really exciting to me, third, is that we're bridging the wireless gap. We're making sure that America is building a national network that very soon will have cutting-edge wireless to virtually every American. Regardless of where they live, regardless of their income, they'll have access to world-class wireless service. And we're, fourth, strengthening emergency response and public safety. Every day our industry helps save lives, contain the damage in the wake of disasters. Nearly 3/4 of emergency calls happen over wireless networks, and because of our technology, people are able to find them. First responders are able to find them quickly. This is my third show as the CEO of PCIA, and I've loved every minute of it. I'm really grateful for you giving me the opportunity to do this. But really nothing that we've done together is more personally gratifying to me than our work in training Americans, veterans, for careers in wireless infrastructure. Just last November, PCI joined Chairman of the FCC Tom Wheeler and a veritable who's who of government at the White House with leaders from the military and government and the industry to launch a nonprofit called Warriors for Wireless that we are now the leading trade association partner with. We've been leading efforts to refine and expand their training programs, and as a result, we're already graduating trainees and putting them into our workforce. Here we are in an industry that's growing so fast we can't find enough qualified personnel to fill a lot of the positions, and we find that our veterans who serve this country are having disproportionate numbers in the unemployment ranks. And the young men and women who sacrifice so much for our country shouldn't have to struggle to find work like they do today. That's why together we're making sure they have the training they need. We're working with the Veterans Affairs Department, working with the Department of Labor, and many of our member companies to make Warriors for Wireless a success. We want to provide our heroes a career, not just a job, something they can do. And we're going to have training programs that'll take them from not just being a tower climber, but every aspect of RF engineering and on into the future. We've already placed 200 qualified veterans, but we're planning on placing thousands more. Nearly 24 companies have offered their support for ensuring that we have these folks properly trained and employed, building out 4G and 5G and beyond. So we've been active on a lot of other fronts as well. In the last few months we've witnessed extraordinary expansion in PCIA's international efforts to help around the world. And today I'm excited to let you know about the formation of a European association with PCIA. This new European association is rising with our support to help educate policymakers about the extraordinary value of wireless infrastructure and how efficient of a business model it is. They're just getting started in Europe, but Europe, I think, the leaders there would like to become more like the U.S. We are the envy of the world. More than just provide the nuts and bolts of the wireless network with our own capital, by the way, our industry provides job opportunities and is a source of great investment, which is what they're looking for desperately in Europe. They'd love to have a neutral host tower industry like we have in the United States, and we want to make that possible. And we're also thrilled to partner with Tower Exchange with this show to help lead the way toward the similar progress in Latin America. Well, back in the old US of A, of course, we've seen our industry grow and diversify to remote areas that a few short years ago were unreachable. I'm from South Dakota, and I've spent a lot of my career trying to get broadband out to rural areas, and I'm really excited that we're highlighting the vital role that our industry plays in rural America. We've started a working group that's crafting a report to show how wireless infrastructure can help bridge the technology gap in rural America. And we're pleased to hear that AT&T just yesterday announced that they're going to start an even bigger build-out effort in rural America. And thanks to those of you who've lent your expertise to the working group, I think we're well on our way to getting that done. Our advocacy efforts have taken on some tough issues that are central to our industry's future, and we've had some big successes last year, and we're queued up for more. We've been aggressively shaping wireless policy both at the state and federal level. And of course, we're monitoring the courts as well. There's a big Supreme Court case that just got announced, and which this fall is expected to weigh on a critical wireless infrastructure deployment issue. So we're working on all fronts in the government. We created a new political action committee, PCIA PAC. It's helping us build relationships on Capitol Hill and raise our stature so that this industry, as it grows, can be properly represented. Yesterday afternoon, we hosted a great event for U.S. Senator Bill Nelson from here in Florida, who's potentially the next chairman of the Commerce Committee, a ranking member of the Commerce Committee, which oversees our industry. That's the kind of thing we can do with this PAC. So it's a wonderful thing. We're doing our part with federal legislatures, and you're all doing your part at the state and local level. We appreciate those of you who've volunteered and are working in our army of state wireless associations. We've got boots on the ground now in nearly 40 states, and those grassroots capabilities played a key role in some of the successes we've had in the last year. We've gotten, in 2013 alone, 6 states to enact legislation, and recently Georgia has followed suit. So congratulations and thanks to all of those of you who participated in those initiatives and got those things done. What we're finding is that policymakers at all levels of government, whether it's the federal government in the Congress, the White House, or in the executive branch, are increasingly recognizing that wireless infrastructure is key to meeting what their constituents want, the incredible demand for wireless data. And nowhere is that recognition, I dare say, appreciation of infrastructure's role more evident than in the Federal Communications Commission, where I used to work. Since September of last year, the FCC has formally been exploring ways to accelerate broadband deployment by improving wireless siting practices. And I can tell you that PCIA has really been leading the charge at the commission, and they want to know what we have to say. We've had incredible success thus far in getting them to pay attention. And we've worked to have the FCC queue up every major issue we face, from shot clock, 6409, co-location by right, to exempting DAS and small cells, from historic preservation review and from environmental review. I can go on and on about the efforts that we've done in all our filings, but basically it can be boiled down to this. We are pursuing policies that make deployment of wireless broadband faster, more efficient, and more cost effective. That's the core of what we're about, is helping all of you do your business by making it easier to deploy wireless networks. And as I said, we're very fortunate that that's not falling on deaf ears in government. In fact, it's my great honor to introduce now, digitally at least, an old friend who's committed to making wireless broadband available everywhere. He knows telecom industry backwards and forwards, and he's a big part of the reason why our industry remains the envy of the world. And he is now the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, in a position to shape our future like nobody else. He's been a little busy lately if you've been reading the paper, but he made some time for us to film a video, and we're delighted that he took that time and to share his thoughts with us. So without further ado, here's the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, Tom Wheeler.
Hello, and greetings from Washington. Thank you, Jonathan Adelstein, for this invitation, and especially thank you for your many years of public service and the new leadership that you're bringing to PCIA. I really appreciate the opportunity to be with you via video. Wish I could be with you in person. Because I want to thank you, America's wireless infrastructure companies, for the work that you've done to make the United States the world's leader in mobile innovation. You know, by expanding broadband coverage and capacity, you, the wireless infrastructure companies, are integral to the U.S. economy and to America's ability to compete in the global marketplace. The work being done by your companies behind the scenes often isn't glamorous. It doesn't get the headlines that the rollout of the latest smartphones and tablets do. But the bottom line is that the mobile sector cannot continue its rapid growth, and the U.S. can't continue to reach its broadband goals without you. So how important is your industry to our economy and to U.S. competitiveness? Well, you know that according to a new PCIA study, you're planning to invest an amazing $35 billion each year over the next 5 years, which could generate up to 1.3 million net new jobs, let alone unlock over $1 trillion in economic growth. These are staggering numbers, but they're no surprise, given PCIA members' huge commitment to capital investment necessary for broadband growth. In addition to helping to grow our economy, you're bringing world-class wireless service to people and places in this country that have been underserved. You're helping to strengthen healthcare services and to bring educational opportunities to communities that need them now. When disaster strikes, it's your infrastructure that connects people to emergency services. You are the reason we're leading the world in 4G LTE deployment. So what can we at the FCC do to help continue to advance these incredibly laudable goals? Well, first, we're committed to cutting the red tape and helping to lower the costs of mobile broadband build-out. In recent years, the Commission has eased access to utility poles and adopted rules to establish a shot clock to speed the approval process for erecting new wireless antenna or putting a new antenna on an existing tower. Last fall, the FCC proposed to take additional actions to facilitate infrastructure deployment. We're reviewing the public comments now, and we'll continue to explore ways in which we can cut red tape and unleash the private investment that you clearly have indicated you are willing to commit. Simply put, we can't have high-speed broadband without high-speed deployment. Further, we're working to make the Commission as agile and as efficient as possible ourselves. We want to eliminate redundancy and outdated regulations. Regulatory compliance needs to keep pace with the evolving technology and deployment methodologies. Part of our efforts will absolutely involve issues dear to your heart. So as they say, stay tuned. All these efforts are designed to spur broadband deployment and innovation, which strikes at the heart of your industry's objectives. We cannot maximize broadband deployment or address the wireless data crunch without the work that you do every day. The infrastructure builders and owners and those who help upgrade our wireless networks are key to meeting the national broadband goals that President Obama has set. I also want to recognize the great work that you're doing with your nonprofit partner, Warriors for Wireless, to train our veterans to fill open jobs in your growing industry. These American heroes deserve the shot you're giving them to establish a high-wage career in an expanding field. And the educational program that you're helping to develop will help their education evolve along with their growth in the wireless industry. I can't applaud you enough for your leadership in this area. In closing, your work is at the heart of a network revolution that is already transforming our economy and the way we live. With smart public policy and with continued private investment and leadership and innovation, I believe the best is yet to come, and you are integral to that happening. Thank you, and have a great convention.
That's pretty good, huh? The message of the... And it's gonna stay pretty good. We've got Commissioner Ajit Pai coming a little bit later this morning in person, and he has been a tireless advocate of wireless infrastructure as well. So we are really well served at the FCC. We got to remember Chairman Wheeler's charge to us that we got to continue to spur broadband deployment, and we'll build a truly national and world-leading network. And the best is yet to come, not just for our industry, but for the hundreds of millions of people that we serve. This is going to remain at the top of our agenda. And we, with the HetNet Forum, a membership group within PCIA who's here, is perfectly positioned to lead our industry to get this next part of the network transformed. The HetNet Forum members are working to educate policymakers everywhere we go about how to get wireless data into every nook and cranny of this country, and it means more business opportunities for everyone involved. PCIA membership, I'm pleased to report, is growing just as fast as our industry. We're gaining members from every corner of the ecosystem. Since we last spoke in October, we've added more than 50 new members in that short period of time. And we've seen a continued surge in 2014. We welcome all of you that are new to PCIA. Thank you for joining us, and we're excited to show you all that we can do together. We're trying to ramp up our member benefits, give you new ideas, better align our resources to meet the needs of this growing membership. Earlier this year, we launched a new website exclusively for our members, designed to be a one-stop shop for industry and the association information and interaction that you need, so you can stay on top of everything PCIA and everything in our industry with just a few clicks of the mouse. We've added a few new member benefits as well. We launched a partnership with some HR specialists, Unitel, that puts HR information at your fingertips for just a few bucks a year. You can, a fraction of what it would cost to hire a lawyer. Apologies to all the lawyers out in the room. But you can get all that information incredible at your fingertips with a quick phone call. It's a great benefit. Speaking of saving money, one thing I'm really excited about, we started hosting a great new service to save you on property taxes and valuations through a partnership with a company called CostQuest that can drive real tax savings for you if you've been looking at your tax bills and wondering how could they possibly assess that at that price. We've got a way, they've perfected a technique that we've studied closely that works in many jurisdictions, a unique property tax valuation model that will enable you to get the lowest assessed real value for your assets. So just let us know how we can get you in touch with them. Just a sampling of some of the new things we're doing to help the members. When we gather next year, we'll have even more good ideas for you. And it looks like we are going to set another record for attendance at this show. This is an amazing show we have, great set of keynoters, panelists, and more exhibitors and sponsors than we've ever had before. But the lifeblood of this event is really the exhibit hall. And we're thrilled with the number of exhibitors we have and the really incredible exhibits that they have to talk about the, quote, magic of our industry in action here in Orlando. You just can't afford to miss out on the amazing opportunities and people that you might meet there. You never know what you'll run into and what it might mean for your business. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us here. Thank you all for your participation in PCIA. This is going to be another blockbuster show. We're off to a good start. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of our terrific corporate sponsors. They really are the ones who make this event possible. And I hope you enjoy your next few days here in Orlando. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you as we expand wireless broadband everywhere together. So thanks for joining us here in Orlando.